Hey everyone, welcome back to PM Learn, your go-to hub for mastering project management and agile frameworks. Let me ask you a quick question. Have you ever been part of a project that felt like a runway train? Deadlines slipping, requirements constantly changing, and communication breaking down between developers and stakeholders. You are not alone. Traditional project management often struggles to keep up with the breakneck speed of modern industries. That is where Scrum comes in. But wait, how do you actually implement Scrum correctly across an entire enterprise without it turning into chaotic, unstructured meetings? The answer lies in this book, the SBOK guide, or a guide to the Scrum Body of Knowledge. In today's video, we are diving deep into chapter 1 of the SBOK guide. We will break down what the SBOK guide is, why you should care, how Scrum compares to traditional project management, and how to apply these concepts to real-world projects of any size. If you are preparing for your Scrum exams or just want to become a world-class product owner or Scrum master, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get started. Now, before we jump into the details, let's look at our roadmap for today. We will systematically cover the core structure of the SBOK guide, the exact environments where Scrum can be applied, the critical benefits of using Scrum, the foundational 6 principles, 5 aspects, and 19 processes, and finally a side-by-side comparison of Scrum versus traditional waterfall project management, rounded off with an enterprise level case study. Trust me, by the end of this video, you will have a crystal clear framework to lead your next agile project. First things first, what actually makes us the SBOK guide? The SBOK guide is essentially the ultimate dictionary and rule book for Scrum. It isn't just a collection of vague agile ideas, it is a highly structured framework built on 3 pillars: principles, aspects, and processes. Let's look at the tiles on your screen. The 6 principles. These are the non-negotiable core rules. Think of them as the gravity of Scrum. They are the absolute foundation, like empirical process control and collaboration. If you violate these, you are not doing Scrum. The 5 aspects. These are the key dimensions that you must address continuously throughout any project. Things like organization, quality, risk, and change. They don't just happen at the beginning, they require ongoing attention in every single iteration. The 19 processes. These are the specific step-by-step workflows organized across 5 distinct phases, from initially setting up the project to planning, executing, reviewing, and finally shipping the product. Think of the SBOK guide as a recipe book. The principles are your culinary rules, the aspects are your key ingredients, and the processes are your cooking steps. Together, they guarantee a perfect dish every time. Now, a common myth we hear all the time at PM Learn is Scrum is only for small tech startups building mobile apps. According to the SBOK guide, that is completely false. As you can see on the left title, Scrum is designed to scale dynamically. It works flawlessly for a small, tight-knit team of 6 members, but it is equally robust when scaled up to complex enterprise-level initiatives involving hundreds of developers spread across dozens of cross-functional teams. And look at the right title. The SBOK guide explicitly uses the term product to refer to physical products, digital platforms, consulting services, or any business result. Real world example. Think of a massive car manufacturer like Tesla. They don't just use Scrum to write the software on their touch screens. They use Scrum principles to rapidly design hardware components, optimize supply chains, and build physical gigafactories. Whether you are building software, managing a marketing campaign, or constructing a smart city, Scrum applies to you. So, why should an organization make the hard shift to Scrum? What are the actual business benefits? Let's highlight the major ones defined in the guide. First, adaptability and speed to market. In traditional projects, you don't realize anything until the very end. In Scrum, we deliver small working pieces of value in short cycles called sprints. This means your businesses gets to market faster and starts making money sooner. Second, active user collaboration. Instead of guessing what your customer wants and disappearing for 6 months, you keep them in the loop. They inspect the product every few weeks, giving you instant validation. Third, sustainable pace. We have all been in offices where everyone is burnt out from 80 hours work weeks. Scrum represents the team by time boxing work, teamwork at a maintainable high productivity rate. Finally, transparency. Daily stand-ups and open boards mean there are no hidden status reports or surprise delays. Everything is out in the open. Let's zoom into the actual purpose of the SBOK guide. Why did Scrum Alliance and Scrum Study create this guide? Well, as you can see in the visual on screen, Scrum relies heavily on physical or digital collaboration. But if every company has a different definition of what a user story or a product backlog is, things get messy. The SBOK guide acts as a global standardized rule book. It ensures that a Scrum Master in New York, a product owner in London, and a development team in Bangalore are all speaking the exact same professional language. Most importantly, it is designed to be practical, flexible guidance. It doesn't lock you in a box. It gives you the rigid rules you must follow, but leaves room from you to tailor the process to match your company's unique culture. Let's talk about the absolute bedrock of Scrum, the 6 foundation principles. These are discussed in depth in chapter 2, but let's do a quick pass because they govern everything we do. Empirical process control. Deciding based on real observed facts, driven by transparency, inspection, and adaptation. Self-organization. Trusting the people closest to the work to figure out how to build it. Collaboration. Working together synchronously to destroy organizational silos. Value-based prioritization. Always working on the highest value items first. If a feature won't move the business needle, push it down the backlog. Time boxing. Setting fixed, unbending time windows like 15 minutes for a daily stand-ups or 2 weeks for a sprint to focus minds and eliminate procrastination. Iterative development. Building step by step so you can easily observe change without starting over. While carrying out those principles, you must keep your eye on the 5 Scrum aspects. These are the critical dimensions of any project. On the left, we have organization and business justification. You need clear roles, product owner, Scrum Master, and team. So everyone knows who decides what, and you must maintain a continuous business case to prove the project is still worth the investment. On the right, we have quality, change, and risk. You must define what done looks like to maintain quality, dynamically welcome change requests to stay relevant, and proactively identify risk in every sprint. Now let's look at the flow of a Scrum project. The SBOK guide organizes the 19 core processes into 5 phases, which you can see in the horizontal timeline. First, initiate. This is where you create the project vision, identify your key players, and set up your initial backlog. Second, plan and estimate. Here, the team writes and estimates user stories, planning out exactly how much they can commit to. Third, implement. The actual execution phase where developers create deliverables, meet daily, and keep track of progress. Fourth, review and retrospect. At the end of a sprint, we demo the working product to the customer and hold a retrospective to figure out how we can improve our teamwork. Finally, release. We ship the increment to the users and celebrate. How does this differ from what you might be used to do in the traditional waterfall project management? Take a look at this comparison table. Traditional management focuses on rigid planning, upfront processes, and signing off on massive documents. Scrum focuses on the people, working software, and rapid collaboration. In traditional PM, teams are siloed, developers write code and then throw it over the wall to QA. In Scrum, we are one cross-functional, highly collaborative team. Change in Waterfall requires going to formal change control board, which is slow and painful. In Scrum, change is welcomed and integrated directly into the prioritized backlog. Simply put, traditional PM tries to control change, Scrum masters it. What happens when you need to scale this to massive multi-million-dollar corporate levels? As highlighted on this slide, the SBOK guide provides exact step-by-step blueprints to manage over 100 plus active team members simultaneously. It structures individual Scrum teams into coordinated programs which then feed into high-level enterprise portfolios. To keep everything running smoothly, it introduces the SGB or Scrum Guidance Body, which sets global quality standards, security parameters, and agile metrics for the entire organization to follow. Let's put all this into perspective with a real-world case study. A global financial technology provider was struggling to launch their digital lending application. They were operating in traditional waterfall silos, and after 14 long months, they still had not skipped a single line of working code to real users. Realizing they were losing market share, they mapped their entire operational workflow directly to the SBOK guide framework. They broke down their massive departments into cross-functional Scrum teams, transient to focused, 3-week sprints, and establish a continuous business justification process to cut out useless features. The result? They launched their application within 4 months, slashed their speed to market by 45%, and team morale skyrocketed because they were finally delivering tangible, high quality results. There you have it. That is your complete comprehensive masterclass on chapter 1 of the SBOK guide. Now I want to hear from you. What is the biggest challenge you have faced when trying to transition from a traditional waterfall environment over to Scrum? Let me know in the comments below. I reply to as many comments as I can. If you found this breakdown valuable, please give us a thumbs up, share the video with your fellow project managers, and make sure to subscribe to PM Learn for the rest of our Scrum Master series. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and I will share you in the next video.